Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Jamie Leigh, and today I'll be talking to you about how we can all ensure an equitable education for students with visual impairments. The number of students with disabilities in mainstream education continues to rise globally. In Australia, legislation and policies mandate that schools provide reasonable adjustments that are tailored to learning approaches to ensure that students with visual impairments can access education on the same bias as their peers. By understanding the impact of visual impairments, recognizing the challenges students face, and applying evidence based strategies, we can create inclusive learning environments where all students thrive. Australian law mandates inclusive educations for students with disabilities. Key legislation includes the Disability Discrimination Act 1992, DDA, which prohibits discrimination in education and requires schools to make reasonable adjustments. The Disability Standards for Education 2025 clarifies the obligations of education providers regarding enrolment, curriculum access, and learning support. Standard 5.2 of the DSFE requires education providers to ensure students with disabilities can participate in education and access facilities without discrimination. Providers must consult with the student or their associate to determine if adjustments are needed and, if reasonable, implement them. This process must be repeated as necessary to accommodate the student's changing needs over time. Australia's Disability Strategy 2021 to 2031 highlights the importance of inclusive education, ensuring students with disabilities have equal opportunity to participate and succeed. It focuses on removing barriers to education and improving pathways to further study, enabling greater access to vocational training and higher education. By promoting inclusive practices, the strategy aims to foster lifelong learning and enhance employment prospects for people with disabilities. These laws ensure that students with visual impairments receive the resources, accommodations, and support necessary to participate fully in school life. Visual impairment refers to functional limitations of eyesight that cannot be corrected with glasses, surgery, or medical treatment. There are two main categories: blindness, which includes complete loss of visual perception, requiring formats such as Braille, or low vision, which includes residual sight, allowing some visual access but often requires large print, magnifiers, and assistive technology. Visual impairment can be congenital, which presents from birth, or acquired due to injury, disease, or an environmental factor. Regardless of the cause, it significantly affects learning, cognition, and classroom engagement. Students with VI face challenges because the majority of learning in schools is visual. Research suggests that 80% of knowledge acquisition is visual, and two-thirds of the brain's function is dedicated to processing visual information. For students with congenital VI, the lack of early visual exploration can affect language development, concept comprehension, and environmental awareness. Additionally, students with VI experience difficulties with visual memory, which impacts abstract reasoning. Students with VI face significant challenges in literacy and mobility, impacting their confidence and engagement. Braille, the primary literacy tool for blind students, requires letter-by-letter processing, making reading slower. Similarly, students with low vision using large print experience delays in reading speed, spelling errors, and reduced comprehension. These difficulties are compounded by mobility challenges, leading to frustrations and social withdrawal. Overprotective environments can further limit independence, and comparison with sighted peers may heighten feelings of isolation. Addressing these barriers through appropriate adjustments and support is essential for fostering inclusion and academic success. Multisensory instruction enhances learning by combining tactile, auditory, and assistive technologies. Students with visual impairments benefit from Braille materials, audio resources, and hands-on activities that reinforce concepts. Tactile diagrams and relief models support STEM learning, allowing students to grasp abstract ideas more effectively. By integrating these methods, educators ensure greater accessibility and engagement in the classroom. Creating an inclusive environment involves thoughtful classroom adjustments. Optimal seating arrangements minimize glare and distractions, helping students maintain focus. Consistent classroom placement builds familiarity and reduces anxiety and enhances independence. Collaboration between general and special education teachers ensures effective adaptations, making learning spaces more accessible and comfortable for students. Peer support plays a crucial role in fostering confidence and social connections for students with visual impairments. Structured group activities and peer tutoring promote collaboration, reducing isolation and improved academic engagement. Encouraging teamwork empowers students to participate actively in discussion and problem-solving tasks. A supportive learning community enhances independence and long-term success. Today I'm showing you a multisensory approach to literacy instruction that makes learning accessible for all students, especially those with visual impairments, dyslexia, autism, or just kinesthetic learning preferences. Before we begin, let's address a common misconception about multisensory instruction. Some people believe that multisensory learning means simply adding more sensory experiences to a lesson, like using sand trays or Play-Doh. But true multisensory instruction isn't just about making learning hands-on, it's about engaging multiple pathways in the brain simultaneously to reinforce learning. For example, when we teach phonemic awareness, we don't just say the sounds, we feel them, hear them, move them, and write them. This structured approach ensures that students process information in a way that strengthens memory and understanding. Now, let's dive into a bit of our lesson. He does, and we're going to make that with our lips. You ready? Can you make the sound for me? Good job. When you made that sound, could you feel it on your lips? Ready? Ooh, our lips start off together and then they open up. If you put your hand in front as we go, can you all do for me? Can you feel your breath pushed out as we make that sound? It's touching our hand. Ready? Yeah, so we can feel it. When we make that sound, we want to know how many sounds there are in pop. So we're going to break it up. We're going to break it up using our body. So we're going to break it into our sounds and then we're going to blend it back together to make one word. Are you ready? Yeah? All right, let's do pop. Pop, pop, pop. Good blending. We're going to say our little saying for how we write our letter P. Can you remember our saying for our letter P? I'll do it first. Ready? Handy dandy finger. We start up the top and we go down Pirate's plait and around his face. To ensure consistency between home and school, educators should communicate multisensory strategies to parents and caregivers using clear language, hands-on demonstrations, and open collaboration, while encouraging simple home adaptations and consulting with specialists when needed. Regular updates and celebrating progress strengthens engagement, making inclusive learning more effective for students with visual impairments. Multisensory instruction fits within Tier 1 of positive behaviour support, offering proactive strategies and enhancing classroom engagement for all students. It encourages active participation by incorporating tactile, auditory, and visual learning methods, which strengthens memory and literacy skills for students with visual impairments. Structured cues help reduce frustration and improve comprehension. However, effective implementation requires teacher training, and students with more complex needs may need additional interventions. When multisensory strategies alone are insignificant, collaborative partnerships ensure students receive the tailored support necessary for success. Educators should work closely with parents and caregivers to understand each student's unique learning needs. Speech and occupational therapists can recommend assistive technologies that enhance accessibility and engagement. Guidance officers and inclusion support staff play a vital role in developing tailored intervention strategies that support long-term success. By working together, these professionals create personalized, sustainable solutions that empower students and foster a more inclusive learning environment. Students with visual impairments face significant challenges, but evidence-based strategies such as multisensory instruction can help close the accessibility gap. By integrating legal protections, inclusive teaching methods, behavior support framework, and professional collaboration, educators can empower students with visual impairments to thrive in mainstream education.